I am a software developer in Seattle, with a comfortable life I built from scratch. For 2 years, Amanda and I had what I thought was a perfect relationship, connecting over hiking trails and late-night conversations about life. But slowly, I watched her transform into someone obsessed with status and luxury. Nothing made this clearer than when she delivered that shocking ultimatum over dinner. Buy her that $10,000 bag, or she would block me forever. Before I tell you what happened next, let me know where you are watching from in the comments. If my story resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe to hear more stories about finding your worth. I grew up in a middle-class family in Portland, where I learned the value of hard work and living within your means. My parents were teachers who instilled in me the importance of education and finding fulfillment beyond material things. By 32, I had built a good career as a software developer at a mid-sized tech company, earning enough to live comfortably without extravagance. I met Amanda at my college friend Jordan's birthday party 2 years ago. She walked in wearing simple jeans and a blue sweater. Nothing flashy, but her confident smile caught my attention immediately. We connected over the cheese plate, discovering we both loved hiking and classic films. Our conversation flowed naturally from books to travel dreams, and by the end of the night, I had her number. Our first date was at a small Italian restaurant where we talked for hours. I loved her intelligence and the way she laughed without restraint. Amanda worked as a marketing coordinator for a local business, and she seemed genuinely passionate about her creative projects. The early months were magical. We spent weekends exploring hiking trails around Mount Rainier, cooking elaborate meals together, and having deep conversations about everything from politics to our childhood memories. I introduced her to camping. She taught me about photography. We complemented each other perfectly. 6 months in, I started noticing subtle changes. Amanda began following several luxury lifestyle influencers on Instagram. At first, I did not think much of it. Everyone has their guilty pleasures, right? But then came comments like, "Can you imagine owning that when seeing designer items?" Or Sophie's boyfriend took her to Paris for her birthday with a wistful sigh. The shift coincided with Amanda reconnecting with her college friends, a group of women who all seemed to date wealthy men and showcased their luxury gifts online. There was Jasmine, with her investment banker boyfriend Tiffany, whose partner owned a chain of restaurants, and Lauren, whose fiancé came from old money. Our first real argument happened after dinner with this friend group. In the car ride home, Amanda was unusually quiet. "What is wrong?" I asked. "Nothing," she replied, staring out the window. Then after a long pause, "Did you notice Jasmine's new watch? It cost $5,000. "That seems excessive for a watch," I said carefully. "If Eric can afford it for Jasmine, why would not you want to give me nice things too?" The question caught me off guard. "I do give you nice things, Amanda. Remember the weekend trip to Vancouver, the concert tickets for your favorite band?" "That is different," she insisted. "Those are experiences, not things I can show people." That comment stayed with me for days. I tried talking to Amanda about our different perspectives on money and happiness, but these conversations became increasingly tense. Still, I wanted to make her happy within reason. I surprised her with a nice but affordable necklace for her birthday. She seemed pleased until Tiffany received diamond earrings from her boyfriend the following week. Amanda began spending more time on her phone, scrolling through luxury accounts, and leaving our dinner conversations to reply to her friends' messages. She started making comments about my wardrobe, suggesting I needed more grown-up clothes. The woman who once enjoyed our $10 picnics now wanted reservations at the most expensive restaurants in town. The last truly happy moment we shared was during a surprise day trip I planned to a coastal town about 2 hours away. We walked along the beach, ate at a local seafood shack, and watched the sunset. For those few hours, I saw glimpses of the Amanda I had fallen in love with. She was present, laughing, and not once checked her phone. When I mentioned this later, she got defensive. "Just because I care about nice things does not mean I am shallow, Barry," she snapped. I later learned more about Amanda's upbringing. Her parents divorced when she was 12, her father remarrying a younger woman who always dressed impeccably and drove luxury cars. Her mother struggled financially afterward, working 2 jobs to maintain their middle-class lifestyle. Amanda admitted once that her childhood friends gradually excluded her when she could not keep up with their shopping trips and vacations. Those early experiences had left deeper wounds than I realized. Everything came to a head on a Friday evening 3 months ago. Amanda sent me a link during my workday with just the message. "Love this." I clicked to find a designer handbag priced at $10,000. I stared at my screen thinking it must be a joke. When I got home, Amanda was waiting with an expectant smile. "Did you see what I sent?" "The bag." "Yes, I saw it," I replied cautiously. "Is not it beautiful? Jasmine has the same one in black." "It is just a bag, Amanda." "An extremely expensive bag." Her smile faded. "Not just any bag. It is an investment piece. These actually increase in value over time." I took a deep breath. "We have been talking about saving for a down payment on a house. That bag costs 2 months of rent. Well, if you really loved me." She trailed off using that phrase that had become increasingly common in our arguments. "This is not about love. It is about financial responsibility," I explained. "I would be happy to get you a nice bag for your birthday within our budget." "Forget it," she said, walking away. "I just thought my boyfriend would want to see me happy." For the next week, our apartment felt like a war zone of silence. Amanda posted cryptic quotes on social media about knowing your worth, and if he wanted to, he would. When I tried to discuss our budget and future goals again, she accused me of being controlling with money. Jason bought Lauren a car for their anniversary, she mentioned casually over breakfast. "Jason is also drowning in debt," I replied, knowing this from mutual friends. "Is that what you want for us?" She ignored my question. Our conversations became shorter, our evenings spent in separate rooms. The ultimatum came during a dinner at an upscale restaurant she had insisted on. Amanda looked stunning in a new dress I had not seen before, her hair perfectly styled. After ordering the most expensive wine on the menu, she reached for my hand across the table. "Barry, we need to talk about us and our future." She began, her tone surprisingly soft. "I agree," I said, relieved we might finally have an honest conversation. "I have been thinking a lot about what I need in a relationship," she continued. "I need to feel valued and prioritized. I do value you, Amanda, but I feel like your definition of being valued has changed." She withdrew her hand. "If you valued me, you would want to make me happy. That bag would make me happy. There will always be another bag, another watch, another whatever." "Your friends have next," I said, trying to keep my voice level. "Where does it end?" Her expression hardened. "It ends with you deciding what matters more, me or your money." "That is not a fair characterization," I protested. Amanda leaned forward, her voice low but intense. "I'm going to make this very simple for you, Barry. Either you buy me that bag to show you are committed to this relationship, or I am blocking you from my life completely. No contact, no second chances." Time seemed to slow down in that moment. I looked at the woman across from me, trying to reconcile her with the person I had fallen in love with. In her eyes, I saw not love, but calculation. This was not a moment of passion, but a carefully planned manipulation. With perfect clarity, I realized this relationship had become a transaction. And in that moment, I found the strength to walk away. "Okay then. Block me," I said quietly. Her confident expression faltered. "What did you say?" "If our relationship has come down to a $10,000 ultimatum, then block me. I would rather be alone than be with someone who measures love in dollar signs." The color drained from her face. "You cannot be serious." "After 2 years together, I am completely serious. The Amanda I fell in love with would never have reduced our relationship to this." We barely spoke as I paid the bill, and we walked to our cars separately. On the drive home, a strange mixture of grief and relief washed over me. My phone pinged repeatedly with messages from Amanda, alternating between anger, "You will regret this," and backtracking, "I did not really mean it." I did not respond to any of them. When I got home, I packed an overnight bag and went to stay with my friend Tyler. The next morning, I woke up to find Amanda had indeed blocked me on all social media and messaging platforms. The first few days after our breakup were a blur of conflicting emotions. Part of me wondered if I had made a terrible mistake. 2 years is a long time to invest in someone, and relationships require compromise. But every time those doubts crept in, I remembered the cold calculation in her eyes when she delivered that ultimatum. Tyler proved to be the friend I needed in that moment. After listening to the full story over beers in his apartment, he did not hold back. "Man, she was using classic manipulation tactics on you," he said. "My sister went through something similar with her ex. It never stops with just one expensive gift. It becomes a pattern of proving your love through your wallet." Tyler helped me see the toxic patterns that had gradually become normal in our relationship. The comparisons to other couples, the passive-aggressive comments, the emotional withdrawal when she did not get her way. I decided to delete my social media accounts for 2 weeks to clear my head. No temptation to check if Amanda had unblocked me, no passive-aggressive posts to decipher. Instead, I focused on rebuilding my life. Returning to my apartment was harder than I expected. Amanda's presence lingered everywhere. Her favorite coffee mug, the throw pillows she had insisted we needed photos of our happier times. I boxed up her remaining belongings and asked Tyler to coordinate their return. Then I reclaimed my space. I rearranged the furniture, replaced the bedding she had selected, and hung artwork I had always liked but she had vetoed. Each small change felt like a step toward reclaiming my identity. I started reconnecting with friends I had lost touch with during my relationship. Amanda had subtly discouraged some of these friendships, particularly with my female friends or buddies who could not afford the upscale restaurants she preferred. On Tyler's suggestion, I joined a local hiking group to get back into an activity I loved but had been doing less frequently. On my first group hike at Tiger Mountain, I felt a sense of freedom I had forgotten. The simple pleasure of challenging my body, breathing fresh air, and connecting with nature reminded me of what truly brought me joy. It was on my third hike with the group that I met Kayla. She was taking photographs of wildflowers when I stopped to catch my breath along the trail. "Those are beautiful," I commented, gesturing to her camera. "Thanks," she smiled. "I am documenting native species for a conservation project." We fell into easy conversation as we continued hiking. Kayla was a wildlife photographer who worked part-time at an environmental nonprofit. Her passion for her work was evident in the way her eyes lit up, describing a rare bird sighting or the importance of wetland preservation. During a group lunch break, our conversation somehow turned to consumerism. "I just do not understand the obsession with luxury brands," Kayla said, completely unprompted. "People pay thousands for something with a logo, when that money could fund entire conservation projects." I nearly choked on my trail mix at the coincidental topic. I actually just ended a relationship partly over that exact issue, I admitted. "Really? That sounds like a story," she replied with genuine interest. I gave her the condensed version, feeling strangely comfortable opening up to this new person. She listened without judgment. "Well, for what it is worth," she said. "When I finished, I think you made the right call. Relationships need to be built on shared values, not shared credit card debt." We exchanged numbers at the end of the hike. I hesitated about pursuing anything, given how recently my relationship had ended, but I enjoyed Kayla's company. We texted occasionally about hiking trails and environmental news. 2 weeks later, I suggested a casual hike at Mount Rainier. Just friends, enjoying nature, I told myself. The day was perfect, clear skies, moderate temperature, and the mountain in full view. Kayla brought her camera, and I packed a simple lunch. The contrast between this outing and my later dates with Amanda was striking. Kayla wore practical hiking clothes and boots that had clearly seen many trails. She stopped to appreciate small details, a uniquely shaped rock, the pattern of bark on an old tree, a cluster of mushrooms. Her joy came from the experience itself, not how it would look on social media. With my relationship drama behind me, I refocused on work and earned recognition for a project I had spearheaded. My team lead mentioned potential opportunities for advancement, something I had not been actively pursuing while distracted by relationship issues. About 3 weeks after our breakup, I noticed Amanda had unblocked me on Instagram. I had reactivated my accounts but rarely checked them. A notification showed she had viewed my story, which was just a photo of a sunset from a recent hike. Curiosity got the better of me, and I looked at her profile. Among the usual glamour shots and product promotions were vague posts about missing someone special and realizing what truly matters. I closed the app and went for a run, refusing to let myself be drawn back into her world. The text came exactly 3 weeks and 2 days after our breakup. Can we talk simple and direct? So unlike the emotional manipulation I had grown accustomed to. I waited a full day before responding. I am not sure that is a good idea. I hope you are doing well. Her follow-up messages came in rapid succession. Please, Barry. I made a huge mistake. I miss you so much it hurts. Just coffee. That is all I am asking. When I did not respond, the calls started. I let them go to voicemail. Her messages escalated from pleading to anger and back again. Then came the final escalation. She showed up at my office building. I was walking back from lunch when I saw her standing near the entrance. She looked different. Designer sunglasses pushed back on her head, an expensive-looking coat, but with dark circles under her eyes, poorly concealed by makeup. Amanda, I said, stopping several feet away, you should not be here. You will not answer my calls or texts. You left me no choice, she replied, her voice cracking slightly. People were starting to notice. Fine, I conceded. Coffee. Tomorrow at 2. The place near the park. I chose a public location where our meeting could remain brief. The next day I arrived 5 minutes early, to find Amanda already there, nervously fidgeting with a napkin. She had clearly put effort into her appearance. Hair, perfectly styled makeup, flawless, wearing a dress I recognized as new and expensive. Thank you for meeting me, she began as I sat down with my black coffee. What do you want, Amanda? I asked, keeping my tone neutral. She took a deep breath. First, I want to apologize. The ultimatum, the blocking, all of it. I was being childish and manipulative. Yes, you were, I agreed simply. Her confidence seemed to falter at my directness. I was just testing your commitment, she explained. I never actually expected you to buy the bag. I thought you would fight harder for our relationship. Testing me, I repeated incredulously. Relationships are not supposed to be tests, Amanda. I know that now, she said, reaching for my hand across the table. I pulled back subtly. I have had a lot of time to think. My friends, the ones I was trying to impress, they are all actually jealous of what we had. Their relationships are empty. Jason cheated on Lauren. Tiffany and Eric fight constantly. I am sorry to hear that, I said honestly. The thing is, she continued, leaning forward, none of them had what we had. Real connection. Remember our hikes, our conversations. That was real, Barry. For a moment I felt a pang of nostalgia for those earlier times. But then I remembered how gradually those genuine connections had been replaced by materialistic comparisons and manipulative behavior. The woman I fell in love with would never have given me that ultimatum, I said quietly. People show you who they are in how they handle conflict. You showed me. Tears formed in her eyes. I can change. I have changed. These 3 weeks have been hell without you. 3 weeks is not change, Amanda. It is withdrawal. You miss the comfort and stability of our relationship, not necessarily me. Her expression shifted as she finally noticed something different about me. You seem different, she observed. I am, I acknowledged. Breaking up was painful, but it forced me to rediscover what matters to me. There is someone else, she said flatly. Not a question. I have met someone, yes, but that is not why I am turning you down. Even if there was no one else, We would not be getting back together. Tears spilled onto her cheeks. Please, Barry. I will never ask for expensive things again. I will go to therapy. Anything. With genuine compassion, I replied, I truly hope you do go to therapy, Amanda. Not to win me back, but because you deserve to understand your worth beyond material things. She tried one last angle. We built so much together. 2 years. Are you really willing to throw that away over one mistake? It was not one mistake, I explained gently. It was the culmination of a pattern. And I am not throwing away our time together. Those memories and lessons will always be part of me. But sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is recognize when something is over. I stood up, leaving my coffee half finished. I wish you well, Amanda. I really do. As I walked away, I heard her call after me, but I kept going. The weight that had been pressing on my chest for months had finally lifted completely. That evening, I met Kayla for a simple dinner at her place. She had prepared a vegetable stir-fry with ingredients from her community garden. We ate on her small balcony, watching the sun set behind the city skyline. How did your meeting with the ex go? She asked, having known about it beforehand. Exactly as expected, I replied. Difficult but necessary. Kayla nodded understandingly. Closure is important. We talked about her photography project, my work, and a documentary we both wanted to see. There was no pressure, no keeping score, no subtle manipulation, just two people enjoying each other's presence. Later that night, reflecting alone in my apartment, I realized that saying block me to Amanda's ultimatum was not just about rejecting her materialistic demands. It was about choosing self-respect over emotional manipulation. It was recognizing that losing someone who measures your worth by your wallet is actually gaining your freedom and dignity. The most valuable things in life cannot be purchased: self-respect, genuine connection, peace of mind. No designer bag in the world is worth trading those for. I am grateful every day for finding the courage to walk away. Sometimes the hardest decisions lead to the greatest growth. Have you ever had to make a difficult choice that ultimately led to unexpected happiness? Share your experience in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share with someone who might need to hear this message. Thank you for listening. And remember, your worth is not determined by what you buy, but by the values you live by.